So Tess, that was the first part of the demonstration where I did it silently. As you can see also, I also put on some safety glasses. So I've got some safety glasses here for you too. So when it's your turn to do it, then we need to be safe and put our safety glasses on to prevent any wood shards or metal shards going into our eyes. So that was the first part of the demonstration. I'll do the next part now with teaching points, and I'll go through and do it again, showing you how to correctly hit a nail in. Then once we do that, then we'll do the next stage. We'll do it together.
Okay.
So that's our first finished one. So this is a decagram. It's a 10-pointed star, and it's just a really nice shape to use when hammering nails in. And then what we're going to do in the next teaching session, after this, after we finish learning how to hammer a nail in, we're going to use wool and to make a really nice shape out of the nails that we've hit in.
Okay.
And that's why I've chosen a decagram, a 10-pointed star. So start with the one of the arrows, one of the points pointing directly away from you, and have it centered in the block of wood. And using your pencil, we mark nice and strongly, so we can see it in the wood on each of the points. Try and keep the paper as still as we can. So if you can't quite see them, I suggest just going over a little cross. Depends how good your eyesight is. I wear glasses, so perhaps I need to. So there's my decagram on the bit of wood. And so what we're using here is, I've been using pliers, so you can hold them with your fingers. Because they're only pretty small nails, I prefer to use some multi-grips, and that just keeps our fingers away from the nail and just a bit of a nice safety feature rather than avoiding hitting our fingers. So we'll use that. Now the correct way to hold a hammer, rather than holding it up near the throat where you haven't got much control and not much power, it's best to come back to here. So I'll start there. I'm going to go through and do the whole skill just with instructions as we're going. So the key is here to have a nice, strong hitting force, bending at the elbow. Okay, bending at the elbow, and that allows us to repeat the hitting action, and with a slight movement of the wrist at the end. The key is to make sure we hit the nail squarely on the head, so the nail goes in straight and it gets maximises the amount of force going in. Okay, so the key is hold the nail perpendicular to the wood. All the fingers are out of the road. We start with the hammer squarely on the middle of the nail head, and we want to angle back, bending the elbow and the wrist slightly, and we're only tapping in lightly to start off with, just so the nail is fixated in the wood. Okay. Take the pliers away, hold the wood, and a couple more taps. Now that was a little bit crooked, so what we could do is we could just bend that back a bit with our hammer, and that one is a bit crooked. There you go. Next one, and we'll just work our way around clockwise, holding it on to where the pencil mark is, nice and square over the nail, and a couple of small taps. Hold the wood and there we go. Takes a bit of practice getting used to this. It's not easy. It looks easier than what it is. Any questions so far, Tess?
No questions. Good to know what to do when it doesn't work out. That was helpful.
Sometimes the nails can be quite soft. You can bend them with your hands, with your fingers, As long as we're careful, also I want to remind you that we don't want to be resting on top of the nails or grazing over the top of our nails. We don't want to be hurting our skin. Even though the nails are not sharp, with a bit of pressure they could penetrate the skin. So we need to be very careful when working around this project. Nice and square and firm grip, and we bend at the elbow, and make sure we're watching the nail, not the hammer. Watching the nail head, not the hammer. Nice and square, bending at the elbow and the wrist. So when you're using the pliers, hold up near the head, so the head is exposed. So you can see the head, so the hammer can hit the head squarely. Perpendicular to the wood. Nice and straight with your hammer hits. Nice. So if it's a bit of an angle, make sure we straighten it up. Nice. Always want to be perpendicular, and the hammer coming down straight down top of the nail. As you get better at tests, you'll be able to be more efficient with your hits, and it won't take as many goes to drive the nail into the wood. But at this stage, we're just expecting just a few light taps. So, any questions on what we've done so far, Tess?
No, I don't know.
No? Fantastic.
Keen to give it a go.
Keen to give it a go. So that's the decagram with the 10 nails in. They're all relatively straight. They're not perfect. All relatively straight. They're quite strong. They're quite solid. And so that's going to be a really good setup for our next project coming up. So if you'd like to start, please. So you've got your wood there. You've got your safety glasses. And we'll go through and we'll do the project together. So you've got your decagram there. So please, so with your decagram, have the point pointing away. Okay, then so your nails nice and close. You've got your nails nice and close. You've got your pencil there. So what we like to do is hold the paper and then go around and mark all the points of the decagram, please. That's really good, Tess. Well done. You see, it might be my pencil. It's not quite as dark. Yours is a nice dark pencil. Some crosses all the way around, just so we see where where the pencil markings are. That's excellent, Tess. So now we can use the, well, obviously we've got the multi-grips, we've got the nails. So before we start that though, what I'd like to do is just have a look at our technique. So we try and hold the hammer towards the end, that's it, and you don't want to have, so the grip is over the end, because that's going to lose control. So we have a little bit of the handle protruding, and we have the handle and the claw perpendicular. And then when we're hitting, we want to move from the elbow, and then with a little bit of wrist bend. And the key is to come down squarely on top of the nail. And probably the most important thing is we want to focus on the nail head. So that's what we're looking at, and whether we're going to be striking down, coming down squarely on top of the nail head. So if you just practice that a couple more times, please. A little bit of elbow and wrist bend, beautiful. And the force, we're only going in halfway. We're not going all the way, just the half of the way. Okay, so we'd like to start together and do the first nail. Just have the nail head protruding a little bit from the top. And start from that top point again. Nice and hold the nail perpendicular. And we just tap it in lightly from the centre. Hold the wood. Fantastic. And And we can repeat going around the clockwise direction. Make sure the nail is perpendicular to the wood. And then starting on the centre. Yep. How are you finding that?
Yep. Seems to be working.
Very good. You're very good at hammering. I think you've done quite a few projects around the house, I would have thought, Tess, in your time.
I can easily have a bent nail or a nail that doesn't go in properly.
It takes a long time, many years of practice to get good at it. Nice and square. That's fantastic, Tess. Looking good. And I like the action, your technique on how you're hammering is very good. They've just got to be firm enough for our next project. We're going to be tying string around them, so just got to be halfway in if you can. I didn't open the crack up.
No.
Very good, good thinking. Don't want to damage the bit of wood.
No, it's beautiful wood. Never like to waste wood.
Okay, we've both got one to go.
Yeah.
Remember, watching that nail, focusing on the nail. That's fantastic. So we've both finished our pentagon. Your hammering action was really good. The way you held the nail perpendicular to the wood. You're hitting it squarely on. They're all quite straight, your nails, so well done. And so that's the demonstration. So have you got any questions or think something you're a bit unsure of at this stage, Tess?
I don't think so. I mean, you gave me the confirmation when I commented about the crack that avoiding it would be best.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think so. What about knots?
Yeah, knots are a harder part of the wood, so it's good to avoid them, definitely. Cracks and knots, definitely. So yeah, and what you've done, you've fortunately gone to the side of that, so well done. Look, a nail's going to go in, but it could open up a crack, or it could just very hard, and you might end up bending, or the nail might go skew-if. So, really good question. Well done.
Thank you.
So that's the finishing. That's the finish of that of the demonstration together. So what I'd like to do now is I'm just going to watch you. You've had a little bit of practice now, so you're going to practice by yourself for another 3 minutes.
Yep.
Doing the exact same thing. So you've got the pentagon, the decagram there. You've got your nails and your wood. The safety glasses are on, so click them on, please. And I'd like you to perform that for the next 3 minutes, and I'll just watch and see how you go.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Good luck.
You're right, it is sometimes a little hard to see on the wood.
Yeah, I think it's the type of pencil you use, isn't it? Goes back to my school days. Is it the different types? Is it?
Yes, there is. Yeah. much in the middle on the cross. Do you want me to take it out, or do you think it'll be okay in the depth?
I think it'll be close enough. Thank you.
I like the safety feature. It's just kind of not used to using the pliers, so.
Look, I think you're doing a really
good.
I think you're doing a really good job with it.
Alright. It feels just a little awkward, but I like it. Two more. How's that look?
Well done, Tess. Again, really good effort. I like the way how you're hammering it. So it's really square to the nail head. All your nails are very good, relatively perpendicular. And look, I think you did the skill really well.
Good
So
teacher.
I think you've got really good technique. So when you want to do projects in the future where you have to hammer the nail in further, you've got a good technique, so you're going to be able to do that. And I suppose the only thing there is you might want to, next time, doing a bigger project where you're hammering nails into the wood all the way through, you might want to use a bigger hammer where you've got more weight behind it.
Yep.
So that's the end. Any other questions? So any other questions or issues or concerns or feedback you'd like regarding what you've just done there with that practice session?
No, I think it's a good tip. Bigger hammer, bigger job.
Yeah.
And so no, I think it was good instruction. Thank you.
Thank you, Tess. So that's the last part of our demonstration and practice of the workshop today. So I'd just like to go through a bit of a summary, a bit of a conclusion, and then we'll wrap up. Look, I was very happy with your safety aspects as well. So when we're doing this, you've got to be safe. We've talked about we need to have a safe area around us. We need to wear correct PPE, and that's personal protection equipment. And today we both wore safety glasses, so that was fantastic. Other you might want to consider gloves, ear muffs. Make sure we wear good protective boots, steel cap preferably. So when you're doing other projects around the home. So I think, and you talked about how you like doing projects. So this is going to give you the confidence to move forward, to do more challenging projects around the house. And that also might be doing projects with your grandchildren or children. So at least now I think you've got the confidence and the skills to move forward to doing that. So I hope you challenge yourself and you look forward to doing that in the future.
I do.
Fantastic. Look, I think you did in a really timely manner. So because we wanted to try and, because I know we're both very busy, we wanted to try and get through the workshop in a relatively good time. And I was happy with the timelines and also how you performed the skill within those timelines. So congratulations there. Other than that, if you would like to do another workshop or some more training with me, I'm happy to. So we can easily schedule that in. Otherwise, within the local area here at Malden, I know there are men in sheds, but they also invite women. But also there'd be other workshops that you could go to. I'm happy to give you a link to some of those workshops. And also there's a great video app as well that I'll also send you. That has some challenging projects that can go through step by step as well. So you've got many YouTube clips to use, and I'll provide you with one of those as well. other than that, I've really enjoyed being involved with the workshop today. I hope you've learned a lot.
Yep, thank you.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, definitely.
And please make sure you follow up in the near future. Challenge yourself revisiting these skills, and good luck in the future. And don't forget, Tess, our next workshop. We're actually, because I know you've booked in for our next workshop.
I have.
And that actually is, we're going to actually turn these decograms with nails into a beautiful coloured projects using wool and some patterns.
No, that sounds exciting.
Lovely to have a session with you today. Thank you, Tess.